It's everything we're about. They went out, they understood, they turned a system problem into a human problem, they solved for the people, and they built and delivered it beautifully in a pretty short amount of time once they had their team in place. We have to do that over and over again.
The Monocle team was thinking that this product would provide, to some degree, one-click download and application of patches. But that's the easy part of the process. It's determining the need, what patches are required for any particular environment, and communicating that to the customers so that we could schedule the downtime, and also determining what interdependencies with other technology teams in the organization. That was the hard part.
We came in as the design team, and when we got to know what the project was all about, it really became clear that our responsibility was to cast the light of doubt around what the internal parties were saying.
We realized, like, oh shit, we're being asked to do something that isn't really jiving with what customers need. So the conflict arises when then we have to go back to these people that have been doing this for a really long time internally, who know what they're doing, and tell them, like, we've learned something that is outside of the box of what you've been asking us to do, and we have to tell it to them in a way that's not insulting.
That was eye-opening from a development perspective, because, man, I can totally solve problems, but knowing what problem to solve, that's the real work.
The one-click update is so fascinating because in the end, it wasn't what customers needed at all. And it was really through that process of research and talking to everyone and then looking at what we found and synthesizing it that we discovered there were so many more opportunities and things that we could do first that might actually make a much bigger difference for our customers in the end.
Our research played a huge part in selling the product, not just to our users, but also to our stakeholders. And I think it really built a lot of trust in the design team because we were making decisions informed by the research, and therefore that affected how successful the product was going to become.
Really, your role is to be the voice of the people we serve, not the engineer, not the visual designer, not the stakeholders. It's you. In many ways, design research is like the Switzerland of product design. You have to be neutral, but also at the end of the day, you have to come forward and advocate for what the customer needs and make sure that's represented when we make our product.
I think the majority of projects that I've been able to work on in the past, research has been seen as the first phase, but really what we've been able to manage in this process has been able to make research an integral part of every piece of the process and every sprint.
Yeah, so in our world, it's not uncommon to start planning and building something 2 or 3 years before it ever releases. I think that's something in our business unit that we're still learning how to do, is how do you create and deliver function on an agile model, not necessarily on a big release schedule, and low interaction with your end consumer, right? I think Monocle sort of broke away from a lot of that, and it had this high interaction with customers, frequent feedback.
Turning point for me was watching customers and their reactions to it, right? That really cemented the importance of this and why it's the only way I see moving forward.
If the engineers think like designers to start with, to use design thinking and to use those agile models, we'll build more products right the first time.
Every project or initiative that we now talk about, the first question we ask is, have we actually talked to customers and what is their view? Right? That didn't used to be our mode of operation.
But what we found was that the customers felt really listened to. You know, for the first time in a long time, someone was asking the question, why? But when we're designing in the moment, it's about the people. You know, we're designing for humans, and that's all that matters.
I had certainly participated in betas with other vendors, other products, but I had never been kind of from the beginning involved in what this product would do, how it would look, how it would behave. I had been asked to provide some information about my environment and certain patch levels, But it was kind of an aha moment to be like, hey, I can get that from Monocle. Even though Monocle wasn't live, it was live with my data. So I logged into Monocle, got the information I need, passed it on to my upper management. This isn't a tool that I'm talking about or that I'm involved with. It was useful, I got a job done, and that was even before the product went live.